The inside job. In this world, in order for our enemies to take over America, they had to do it by infiltration and deception. The only reason they was able to enslave the direct descendants from God is because we didn't know evil. We are born inherently good, meaning born with a high frequency level. The world wars is a war of different worlds, as in different realities, that they are constructing versus the realities God's descendants want. So what they've been doing is taking over media, placing false memories and feelings into people's realities. In turn, this causes people to make choices they never would have thought about before. Mix this with oppressive situations, in which lowers your frequency into emotion, increasing the chance of you doing something wrong. This is what causes people to be stuck in cycles, which is really time loops, preventing people from moving forward. Like when women marry the government, that destroys families. Men wrongfully being put in jail causes more oppression and damage to the families, which eventually leads them going back to jail. And things like this all came from visuals and vocals that eventually was acted out in real life. Like I remember when I first started to realize that I was being brainwashed at a very young age was when 50 Cent came out, right? I used to want to be shot just to be like 50 Cent. I wanted to be bulletproof. Think about now, like, what? Then not only that, like when somebody stepped in my shoes, I used to want to crash out over something that small. And I had to tell myself it's just all in my head. It ain't that serious. But that's how I knew and understood how they are really brainwashing people and controlling society, because I was controlled at one point, but I had to fight myself to realize that wasn't even my thoughts. And things like that is sad to see because it's so obvious. And the Black Americans, as a collective, can't see this. That's why they used to call us that word that just literally means a ignorant person. Like we are literally falling for their psyops and fighting each other instead of fighting the enemies. And we all know who the enemies are deep down inside. But as a collective, they still choose to protect them, even when they're coming to take their freedom. So I said all that to say this. Trump has been seeing this unfair game being played and been tired of it for a long time. You can literally see it in videos from mad years ago, well before anyone even thought he'll be president. So he amassed enough wealth through businesses by playing the unfair game because it's the only way. And obviously he realized that the government is essentially a business and has been corrupt for a long time. So he assembled a team to do something about it. He had to have a taste of politics and a deeper look into the laws because they created all kinds of loopholes to defend themselves in court. In turn, gives them more time to find more loopholes to defend themselves. And a prime example, like recently when they did that nationwide injunctions on all the executive orders, which is basically the reversal of unfair treatment. You see, most people don't know Trump never even finished his first term because when he was forced to issue a national emergency, he had to give up power to FEMA. And that was one of the loopholes that I'm talking about. But he didn't see this one coming. And this was how they were able to coerce the world to take the potion 19. Then forced everyone to stay home, even convinced people to wear masks in the house and in their car, while they literally placed military weapons, frequency weapons, all over the world. That's crazy, especially when you already knew what was really happening actively as this was happening. So obviously this time Trump came back much stronger, ready for these loopholes that he already knows he's gonna run into in court because it already happened. So everything they was planning on doing to the people, he reversed it and started doing to them, who are the quote unquote elites. Because all these laws and policies was designed to look good, but it can also be used for evil. Because as we all know, everything has two sides. So if you've been on your spiritual journey, we all should know that there's no way a true Black American can get deep into any secret societies. So what's being done now can only be done from the inside, from someone that has the knowledge to be properly elected, then properly reverse all contracts Black Americans unknowingly agreed with through the Supreme Court, which is the only real court of the land. Administrative courts is only for employees of the state, which should only apply to foreigners, as I've been stating in my previous videos, that they are the only citizens, not the indigenous people of America. So the people of other nations are supposed to be the only ones inside those quote unquote legal courts. Because like I said, they consider you an employee of the state because of the citizenship. But the Black Americans are not citizens unless they registered their body to the state unknowingly. And as I said plenty of times before, I have proof of this, but I can't show it because I'll get violated every time I show any kind of paperwork online. So if I'm not registered under their system as a citizen, right, I'm not able to be in those administrative courts because that means it's unlawful at that point. Because essentially, it's a game court. No difference from a basketball court. If you're a baller, you know when you're at home court, you get like an automatic 20 points added to your attributes. And you know when you step in somebody else's court, they got a higher chance to win. So in this game, you gotta face their intimidation, their deception, and still know more of the law than they do. And that's the only way. Because in all reality, court is actually just the paperwork. It's not the physical place. There's only supposed to be two parties and a judge, a tribunal, and that's it. Like I said, everything else is intimidation and you lowering your standing in the courtroom, placing them above you. But as I was stating, in this case, Trump has went through all that already. That's why he always makes it clear and say he representing the American people. He always says, make America great again. It's a clear sign that he's not for the United States corporation. There is a reason why he never includes the US. As y'all all can see, he's actually doing what he says. He's about that action, not all that talking just for your approval and to steal your energy. He's trying to keep everybody up to date on what's really happening. He even had to start his own social site to stop all the bots from spamming him. The fake news, the shadow banning, even the banning of him being on social sites. Like he was literally getting treated like I was, and still is. So he infiltrated to do the right thing. His spirit has always been calling him out to do. Now it's up to us to regain our independence, recognize all these psyops they are pushing out towards us, and be ourselves, which is naturally being good, and stop trying to live up to all these actors we see online. It's time to take our responsibility of leading with our good hearts because a lot of people is not born that way. We just had a group of people complete an inside job for the benefit of everyone. So it's time to do what we've been destined to do. Anyways, y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.